All right, BFOD squad, we're back. Let me apologize to you for releasing this a day late. Quite a busy weekend, but here we are. Welcome back to Barrel Full of Daryl. It's episode 41. Jeez. I like to talk about music, movies, and provide some other funky ass shit for your entertainment. Now, last time I left you with this lyric: with your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Now, what's that lyric? What's that from? Well, it's from the song Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. Great song, great song. And here's a new lyric for you. Guess I got what I deserved, kept you waiting there too long, my love. Guess I got what I deserved, kept you waiting there too long, my love. A little hint for you, that song's on the playlist. Yeah. So let's jump right in. Talk about some music. There is a band that exploded onto the scene in the 1990s. And they were originally called Mr. Crow's Garden, named after a children's book. They formed in Atlanta, Georgia in 1984 and eventually became known as the Black Crowes. This band, as with many others, it had a high turnover rate of the band members. But the founders and the driving force of the band are two brothers, Chris and Rich Robinson. Now, I really like this band. Oh my God, their sound is so amazing. It's like all the bands that I talk about, they seem to come out of nowhere with this distinct sound. And that's the way it is with this band as well. They are a blend of Southern rock, psychedelic pop, and blues rock. Now, Chris Robinson is the lead singer, and his voice is very much befits their music and their musical style. So in 1989, they signed on with Rick Rubin's label, Deaf American, and in 1990, they released their first item titled Shake Your Moneymaker. Now, they really burst onto the scene with the release of this album. It contains the hits She Talks to Angels, Jealous Again, Twice as Hard, and Hard to Handle. First one, She Talks to Angels. That's a beautiful ballad. And then the other three are just hard rockers. Now, the song Hard to Handle is a cover song that was first released by Otis Redding in 1968. I've listened to both versions. Now, Otis Redding, he's got a great voice. Good sounding song. But the Crows, they just turned this song upside down on its head. They killed it. And all these songs, they still get a lot of airplay on classic rock stations. And the album eventually sold over 5 million copies. Now, after the release of the album, they opened for ZZ Top on a tour sponsored by Miller Beer. But they got fired when Chris Robinson went into a rant about commercial sponsorship of concerts and music. Yeah, Miller Beer, they didn't like Chris biting the hand that was feeding him, so they got fired from the tour. But they went on other tours, and then in 1992, they released their second album titled The Southern Harmony and Musical Companion. And this album debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, and it contains the hits Remedy, Sting Me, and Thorn in My Pride. Yeah, it's good. Good stuff. So now they had really hit it big. And in 1994, they released their third album titled Amorica. Now, this is a pun, Amorica, as in amoral. The cover art shows a woman's crotch wearing a American flag bikini bottom. And the issue is that there's pubic hair sticking up out of the bikini. And stores refused to sell the album because of this. They didn't like those pubes sticking out. So eventually they reissued it with the pubes removed. Yeah. By the way, on this album, one of my favorite songs is High Head Blues. It's unique. I'll probably put it on the playlist because it shouldn't be missed. Okay. In total, the Black Crowes released 10 studio albums. The three that I have discussed here they're far more popular than the remaining 7. And they never really achieved the success with their later albums. So they went on hiatus in 2002, and they reformed with a new lineup in 2006. And they released several popular albums, but nothing like what they came out with at first. Now, they broke up in 2015 following an argument between the two brothers, Rich and Chris Robinson, about ownership and control of the band. But both of the brothers, they continued with other bands, and notably, Chris Robinson had a band called Chris Robinson Brotherhood. It's much in the same style as the Black Crowes. In 2019, the brothers kissed and made up, and they toured to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Shake Your Moneymaker with an all-new backing band. And they have continued to release albums, and they were nominated for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just this year. So please visit the playlist. Prepare to be amazed. If you haven't heard their music before, yeah, it's a little jaw-dropping. I think you'll like it. And now a word from our sponsor. Be right back.
Yeah. Hi, guys. This is Willie Ray Parley again, talking to you from Scratch Ankle, Alabama. And if y'all are coming to visit us, we won't be able to play any of my board games. You see, the tool shed burnt down because the chicken coop caught fire. You know, my daddy said it was foul play, but I don't think them chickens had a thing to do with it. And my thinking is he let the chicken poop pile up, and it did a spontaneous combustion. Anywho, we lost all of our chickens. But the good news is Daddy let me set up a new library on the porch. He stretched some chicken wire along the front of the porch to keep me from getting hit by any egg grenades. So I also got some book donations from some nice people around here. I got the book Hamlet, which is about a baby pig. Catch 22, which is about fishing. Dr. Acula, which has a scary cover. Ooh. And the Scarlet Letter, it's about people mailing porn to each other. That's not nice. And my daddy said I need to charge $1 for each book, and then I would get enough money for a gas station hot dog. Hey, that'd be good. So please drop by and have a look see. I'm looking forward to meeting you. And bye for now.
And we're back. Talk about a movie. How about a little Christmas spirit? Anybody feeling that yet? Well, let's talk about a Christmas movie, see what we can do about it. Now, there is a Christmas action comedy film released in 2022, and it's titled Violent Night. Yeah, great title. And the main star is David Harbour, which you probably know him from Stranger Things. And he is Santa Claus. And I mean, for real, he is really Santa Claus. He's got the sleigh, the reindeer, the nice and naughty list, etc., etc. Now, the action takes place on Christmas Eve while Santa is out delivering toys and coal. Yes, he actually has lumps of coal. Now, one of his stops is in a state where a wealthy, dysfunctional family has gathered for the holidays. And when I say wealthy, I mean uber wealthy. And when I say dysfunctional, I mean uber dysfunctional. To the point of hilarity, really. Now, little do they know that some of the staff that they hired to cater to them is actually a group of very mean mercenaries, led by a character, Mr. Scrooge. That's his code name. And it's played by John Leguizamo. Great, great character. So Santa arrives through the chimney on an upper floor of the mansion. And this is, soon after the mercenaries take the family hostage on the main floor. And Santa hears some of this going on. He's like, oh shit, I don't need this right now. And one of the bad guys finds Santa up on the upper floor and holds him at gunpoint, and they begin fighting. They're struggling with the Uzi when it goes off, spraying the ceiling with bullets. Now, this scares the reindeer sitting up on the roof, and they fly off, leaving Santa stranded. Now, in this family, there's an 8-year-old girl who gets scared of the mercenaries, the bad guys, and she runs and hides in the attic. Now, her father had previously given her a walkie-talkie that he says she can speak directly to Santa with. Now, she won't be able to hear Santa, but she can talk to him. And again, 8-year-old girl believes in Santa. She's like, okay, cool. And she starts talking to Santa. Now, meanwhile, upstairs, Santa has killed the bad guy. He's taken his radio. Now, at the right frequency, he and the girl can communicate. Yeah, Christmas magic. That's a key part in the movie, that they can communicate back and forth. So Santa eventually begins going through the house, and he kills every bad guy he meets. Some quite funny. Now, the family has secretly summoned an extraction team to come and save them from the mercenaries. And about 20 ex-military men arrive on snowmobiles. These guys are decked out. They got all the weapons, they're all in camouflage, they're all on radios, but they are actually involved in the plot to rob the family and kill them. You see, there's a huge safe in the basement, and inside of it, there's $3 million in cash, and that's their target. Now Santa sees the team arrive on their snowmobiles, and he's like, "Yeah, let's go." But then he sees the team leader talking to Mr. Scrooge, and he basically realizes he is screwed. So now he's up against all those extraction team members as well. So, long short, Santa kills off all the mercenaries and the extraction team and saves the family. Yeah, spoiler, I know. Sorry. Well, let me just say that many of the scenes in this movie, they're darkly comical. And many of the scenes, many more of the scenes are uber gory. Yeah. In a few scenes, Santa has flashbacks to 1,000 years ago when he was a Viking plundering and killing people with his huge sledgehammer called Skull Crusher. Now, after being wounded, Santa seeks refuge in the barn where he finds the sledgehammer. And all the extraction team members converge on the barn and start going in after him. And he kills them one by one with the sledgehammer and with an ice skate. Yeah. There's a lot of gore to be seen in this scene. Now, here's another great scene. The girls in the attic, when two of the bad guys figure it out, they find out that she's up there and they're coming after her. Now, she had previously watched the movie Home Alone, so she sets traps for them, including rolling bowling balls and glue on the floor. Now, this is a great scene. I laughed out loud during it. Good stuff. Now, going back a little further, the opening scene, I gotta tell you about this. It shows the real Santa Claus, David Harbour, drinking in a bar next to a mall Santa. Now, the real Santa, he's drunk, he's tired, he's disheartened, he's jaded, and he says this was going to be his last year. And eventually, he gets up to leave and he grabs a gift out of the toy bag and hands it to the bartender. This gift has her grandson's name on it, and the bartender is floored. And he says, "I'll just save some time and give you this here for your grandson." But she's in awe. So he leaves through an exit that goes to the roof, and the bartender yells that he can't go out that way, and she starts chasing after him. And when she gets to the roof, he's gone. And she looks around, and she sees his sleigh flying in the sky, and she's gaping in wonder at it. Now, Santa flies the sleigh back over the roof, and he reaches over the side of the sleigh and vomits. And the vomit basically goes all over the bartender's head and face. And Santa didn't know that. He didn't do it on purpose, but that's a good scene too. Now, as usual, I have skimmed the surface of this movie, and I implore you to give it a screening. It's actually showing for free on Peacock, or gas station hot dog, Prime Video. It's worth it. Word of the week: eremite. 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 An eremite is a hermit. An eremitian is the act of a gradual, intentional withdrawal from society to seek solitude. I bet this sounds great to all my introverted listeners, right? So, what about the word realtor? We all know what a realtor is. And maybe it's just a southern thing, southern United States thing where I grew up. But I know a lot of people there who pronounce it relator, 3 syllables. They drop an A in there, relator. Now, this is so irksome to me, but I get tired of correcting people, and I just say, fuck it, say it how you want. Okay, joke of the week. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Okay, I'll give you another one. A proctologist is making his rounds in the hospital. Now he walks into the room of his next patient and starts discussing his upcoming procedure. And then the doctor reaches into his pocket to take some notes. But instead of a pen, he pulls out a thermometer. Well, he's surprised. He looks at it and he says, "Well, I guess some asshole has my pen." Question of the week. Velocity is from last week. Okay, we'll discuss that one first. Velocity is the rate of change in distance. But what is acceleration, the rate of change of? Well, first, a little bit of physics. There's a difference between speed and velocity. Speed is what they call a scalar quantity. It's just a number. But velocity is speed and the direction of the speed. The direction the object is moving, as well as how fast it's moving. It's what they call a vector quantity. So acceleration is the change in the speed or direction of the moving object. Okay? Got it? Good. New question of the week. You and I are driving cars facing toward each other on a roadway, and we are now 25 miles or 25 kilometers apart. Now we're both driving at a steady speed of 25 miles per hour or 25 kilometers per hour toward each other. How long before we hit head on? 25 miles apart. I'm driving 25. You're driving 25. How long until we hit head on? Okay. Thought of the week. We are all living proof that nothing lasts. We are all living proof that nothing lasts. It's very true. Nothing's permanent. So don't forget about the playlist. I just keep adding songs on there. It's a well curated playlist drawing from, my vast exposure to music throughout my life. I hope you're listening. I hope you're enjoying it. And you can always contact me if you feel the urge. You can send me a text by clicking on the little button in the episode, or you can email me directly at bfodpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget, the podcast episodes, they have an option for you to support my show. Send me a little bit of money each month, $3. Piece of cake, right? So that's it for this episode. I thank you for listening. Thank you for being constant listeners. And I certainly hope you were entertained. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.